Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I have just finished filming a quick reel on my new setup for my medium Delphonics pouch and realised that a reel really does not give me enough time to show everything that I'm using this for, so I thought actually this would be a good YouTube video. I haven't spoken about this pouch on the channel probably for quite some time, and that's partly because I didn't really have much of a use for it in my last kind of desk setup. It was there for storage, but more kind of extra storage rather than a kind of proper use for it, and kind of, yeah, just a place to keep random bits and pieces that I didn't have a home for, because I don't have proper drawers in my desk setup, even in my old setup and my new one. However, since moving, I've kind of reset this up and it's kind of had a new lease of life as my pouch for basically all things decorative planning and scrapbooking. So I have other parts of my desk that have got things like my pens and kind of highlighters and things like that, and then I keep my main kind of planning stickers separate, so the things that I'll use in kind of day-to-day planning. But then I did really want somewhere for everything else that's decorative, so that if I'm doing like a journal spread or doing some scrapbooking, I only have one kind of place to look, because previously it was kind of spread about everywhere, and it meant that actually I didn't really use half of the supplies that I had. So yeah, as part of the new setup in the new home with my beautiful new desk, I kind of pulled out all of my supplies, planning, scrapbooking, everything, and kind of reset everything up, and then set this up for everything decorative. So I thought I would just kind of show you everything that's in here. As you can see, it's not something that I am taking anywhere because it is chunky. It literally sits on something to the left of my desk, so I can grab it as and when. Works very nicely in terms of it sits like that, very nice, doesn't fall over, and it literally has pretty much everything to hand that I could possibly need for any kind of creative journaling. As it's all together as well, it does mean that if I want to go and sit in the conservatory at the dining table and just do some planning, or even outside on the rare occasion that it's sunny, I do have something that I can literally just pick up and take out with me. So enough of my blabbing on, let's get into kind of everything that I have in this pouch. If you are not aware of the Delphonics pouches, they are fabulous. I used to have the smaller version of this and sold it on because I wasn't really using it, and they're not that easy to get hold of in the UK, so I thought rather than having it collecting dust, I'd rather sell it on. And then I do have the mini version, which is basically like a keyring version, that sits on my desk with just a few bits that I kind of like to have to hand, like my whiteout and my icon stickers that I use in my day-to-day planning. And that's it for Delphonics. They are amazing pouches. I mean, you can see how much stuff I've got in here. Part of the reason why I didn't really gel with the smaller version is the front pockets. So the front pockets for kind of my use for this, in terms of just something to sit on your desk, amazing, brilliant, lots of things to hand. For anything where you want to use the pouch to kind of go places, so I have used this for travel in the past, but I've just found that these front pockets are kind of useless. Not useless is probably a bit harsh, but finding things that will go in here that won't fall out if I am trying to take the pouch places has proven kind of tricky. There's a couple that are, I can't even remember where they are, they might be the ones on the back that do have Velcro on, so you can keep some things, but certainly the ones at the front, you either have to wedge something in so it won't fall out, or not carry this pouch around. Just, yeah, and I think that's probably part of the reason why I didn't really have a proper setup for this for a while, just because I tried to use it as a going about places pouch, and yeah, the pockets didn't work. But for sitting on my desk and having things, or to the left of my desk and having things to hand, perfect. So going into the pockets, so the front kind of main pocket here, so this is where I keep all of my Kitter. So Kitter tapes are basically just small kind of things of, I mean, it's not washi, this one is kind of plasticky, but there are some that are more actual washi tape. They don't always stick in here quite well, which is slightly annoying, but also means it's a good reason to keep them in a pocket to keep it all together. But they are kind of credit card sized, so they do go in this front pocket very nicely. And this is probably one of the main things that I have in my collection that they just haven't been used enough, and since having them here and kind of easily to hand, use a hell of a lot more. Next, I have just a couple of stamping things. So this is an Eric Small Things stamp, so you can change up things that are kind of the order of things, so it's quite flexible with little icons or just keeping it plain or what have you. Very cute little stamp for planning. I don't use this enough. I do need to use it a bit more, particularly in my scrapbook. And then I just have the Versa Magic ink. So the chalk ink is one of the better inks for, particularly for the Tamari River paper. Ordinary ink does bleed and creates a bit of a mess on the page, or certainly does in my experience. So the first thing I got to go with this stamp was actually this little stamping pad from MU, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. They're the people that do the kind of transfer stickers, and I thought this was going to be awesome, give me a bit of choice for colours, but it's obviously a different kind of ink from this, and it just bleeds straight through the paper, which is sad because this is very handy for kind of stamping on the go and not having 3 bigger ink pads. I then, in these smaller pockets, then have some more kind of tools, I guess. So here I just have some scissors that are from kind of my travel setup, but I don't travel loads, so it's nice to have a permanent home for them. I then have a wooden stick for the MU transfer stickers that I've just mentioned, and then obviously a pair of tweezers. You then get these 2 larger pockets at the back. In this one, I do just have a stamp pad set. This ink is, I mean, this is a gift. God, I don't know how long I've had this, but years. Just handy for doing like titles and things, but this ink is not the greatest on Tamari River paper, so I do tend to use this ink. And then I have so this is the photograph album from Hobonichi, but it's perfectly sized for, these are like A6 size sticker sheets, so a lot of these from the shop, and then I have some other decorative ones from other sellers. So this is just basically the place where I keep my more scrapbooky decorative stickers that aren't necessarily on the functional side of things. Nice little handy pouch to keep them all together, and it does mean if I am planning and I do just want to, you know, put a few decorative stickers on, they're all kind of there and I don't have to wade through any of the stickers. I'm then just going to do the back before we move on to the main pocket. So this is kind of a bit of a random collection of extra bits and pieces that I have. So got clear tape, so good for tip-ins. I then have double-sided tape, which is good for sticking in ephemera. I have run out of glue sticks, so I do need to go and buy some, but otherwise that would be in this mix. I then have these kind of random papers, so more Eric Small Things. I bought a awesome set from Cute Things in Japan that came with washi tape, these, and a couple of other bits in an awesome little tin. I haven't really used many of these pages, but they are very handy to have if I do just want to add a little bit of random kind of paper decoration. I then have a few clips, always handy, and then I have a corner rounder, so I print pictures for my scrapbooking with just ordinary sticker paper, and then I round the corners, something that I saw on Instagram and really liked the look of, so decided to jump on the bandwagon and do that myself. And that's it for the back pages. I think there's a few, oh no, I have completely missed these. So these are sticker books. So I have these in the shop currently, but these are really good just to add a bit of random decoration, or even just doing some kind of junk journaling. When I've been having kind of a creative half an hour, I'll use a couple of these and create a page in my standard TN, just as a bit of a creative outlet. And these are really good for kind of starting off a page if you're uninspired but you want to kind of do something decorative. Just find one of these that you like, stick it on the page, and then add washi and other bits and maybe some journaling. There you go, page done. I felt creative. Then we get on to the main middle section. So, where to start? So first up just these. So these are stickers that I picked up last year on holiday somewhere. They were reduced and I thought they would be perfect for scrapbooking for kind of on holiday days. Just stick that down and write where we were. In the other pocket, I then have my zinc printer. I'm not a huge fan of this. The quality of it isn't amazing, but if I want to just print out a single picture just to kind of put in front of a planner or something, then I will just use that, just because I do have still some paper. But I think once I'm out of the paper, I'm probably not. I might research getting a better one so I can do a bit more quick and on the go journaling, because at the moment, because I'm using sticker paper, I do need to kind of have quite a lot of pictures all at once to print out, which means that my scrapbooking isn't very frequent and I just kind of have to save it up. Whereas if I had kind of one of these that the print quality was good, I mean, this is a good 5-6 years old, so yeah, it's one of the kind of more OG ones, I think. But if I had one that was better, I think I would definitely do a bit more often scrapbooking, and maybe even do a bit more kind of random journaling, because I knew I could just print off a single picture from the day and do a little bit. Yeah, that's the idea. Who knows? Then in terms of the other pocket, so I don't have anything in this one, and then in this back one I just have, I think these are Midori envelopes as well, actually, that I picked up on sale the same time I picked up these. I figured they would be handy for my scrapbooking if there's just something that I want to kind of keep in the pages but without actually sticking it down. So if there's any like little notes or something that I just want to kind of put away so I can pull out and read, they will be very handy. And then what I'll probably do is pull out all of these for the rest of the middle bit. So this is basically everything else decorative pretty much that I have to kind of scrapbook or journal or just be creative with. Some of it isn't amazingly organised. As you can see, this first pocket is a random selection. So some of these are decorative stickers that don't fit in the little pouch that I've mentioned. These, I think I showed these in a video a couple of weeks ago. I absolutely adore these. And then there's other random stickers that I've just collected over the years, like these. I'm fairly certain I bought these when I first got into planning, and I'll use them once a blue moon, but because I am still using them, I'm not going to get rid. I then have my print on stickers. So these are the ones that you use this for. If you haven't seen these before, they're basically like rub-on transfers, so really good for not bulking up the pages. I then have more random sheets of paper that I've accumulated, and oh, these are Eric Small Thing stickers that came with the papers that I mentioned in the little set. So yeah, bit of a random selection here of just other kind of stickers that when I'm feeling inspired to do something creative, I'll just kind of go through this and see which I want to use. I then have these filled with, so these are different months worth of Sterling ink kits. So I did subscribe to Sterling ink year before last for a few months, and then I just found, as pretty as they were, I wasn't using them as much in terms of getting them every month was too much, hence why I still have a backlog even a year after. So these are all kept together. The vellum, there's 2 months worth of vellum that is still in its sleeve, how it came, A4, that I've got kind of over there, which, yeah, I haven't got around to using them. Vellum, I tend not to use much. It's really only if I'm kind of in my ringed planner, because I'll make dashboards and things like that with it. So if I finally get the pocket rings that I've been kind of eyeing up for a while, or I finally take a leap and get a plotter, that might be when I use up my Sterling ink vellum, just for some dividers or something. But other than that, I just kind of will grab stickers every so often if I'm doing a layout or just want to add some pretty decor somewhere. Then go on to, so that's empty, Happy Day stickers. So I subscribed to this for a couple of months, and although they're very pretty, I did find that even in the first couple of months, I wasn't really using a huge amount of stickers, partly because it did coincide with me moving into my weeks. and these are quite big and probably a bit too big for the weeks, but they will be really handy for any times that I want to sit and play with my cousin and do kind of a weekly layout, or even just some back planning. These will be perfect for them. So I did only subscribe for a couple of months. Do need to probably put in an order to get some normal kind of functional stickers, but in the interim I have these to play with when I am in my big planner. And this is just the other set. The pouches are adorable. Absolutely love these, and it's a good way of keeping the stickers together, because I do like to keep, particularly from subscription boxes, I do like to keep the themed ones all together. So if I'm doing a layout, so the next time I'm doing a cousin layout, I can just pull out this pocket knowing that all of the stickers will match, and then pull out the matching washi tape that I keep separately. So I do have different storage for washi tape. Probably should have mentioned that. Yeah, I have quite a lot of washi tape and I don't use it a huge amount, so it does have its own section on one of my shelves with deliberate storage for it, but I'll know which ones go with which, but it means I can pull all of it out and do a nice themed layout together at the same time. I then have these are brilliant for journaling and scrapbooking. I've had them for years. I've not used a huge amount. They tend to be pulled out randomly, but they're really handy to have, and they're really handy to remember that I have, to then just pull something out and kind of add some random words to a layout. I then go on to my pouch of, and I'm gonna make a hash of the name, Sateli stickers mainly is what's in here. I absolutely adore these stickers. I will always pick them up wherever I go if I see designs I haven't bought before. These are wonderful. If you saw how I was using my weeks last year, I was basically using a sticker a day from these ranges to do a bit of kind of semi-journaling / highlight of the day in my weeks, and these stickers are perfectly sized so in the little square of the day, like in one of the portion, I kind of carved out a third of the day to just write a little bit about what I'd done with my day, and pulled out a sticker that went with it just to add a bit of kind of decor, really, something fun. So that's why these were all here together. I then have these Hobonichi folders that are basically just everything else. So I have loads of these Cath Kidston labels from previous scrapbooks from, I want to say, maybe even 10 years ago. There's a whole heap of these. I use these very rarely, but I know they'll come in handy every so often, so I do keep them. I then have other random stickers. So these are from a retro video game magazine, again from ages ago, but handy just to keep all together when I need something random. And then this last one is basically a collection of, I don't even know what to call these, kind of just random postcards, ephemera. I think there's a few photos in here. It's just kind of, this is an everything else wallet basically that I don't really have a home for, but I might be doing something creative and go, actually, I would really like a random postcard. Have I got one? Yeah, I've got one in here. And that is everything that lives in my Delphonics. So as you can see, I've packed a decent amount in here. It is nice to have everything decorative together. Like I say, just knowing that there is one location for all things non-functional is really nice. And between this and my crate of washi, I pretty much have everything to hand to do any kind of layout, any kind of scrapbooking or journaling. And yeah, it's very simple. I have made a right mess of putting this back together, but this video needs to end because I've gone on for quite a while. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you've got Delphonics and how you use yours. And yeah, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye.